The people you trust the most will cost you the most. Today, I will be talking about $2 billion betrayals that you need to hear. Welcome to my new show, Business is War, the news in 7 minutes, and I'm going to be breaking down two explosive collapses. One between a US president and a tech mogul, and the other an ed tech giant destroyed by its own investor. $150 billion vanished and $22 billion completely erased, and I'll show you what went wrong and both sides of the story, because there's always two sides to this story, and then there's you that is going to decide. Let's get into it and make sure that this doesn't happen. Now, everyone here has been talking about Trump versus Musk, the $150 billion bailout. In 2024, Elon Musk poured in $288 million into Trump's campaign, slashed Tesla's budgets, and hyped them at its rallies. By mid-2025, that alliance has now collapsed. Now, in any situation, there's two sides. And instead of saying I support Donald Trump or I support Elon Musk, let's explore them both. On Trump's side, he says that when he decided to remove the EVs subsidies from his big, beautiful bill, he claims that Elon went crazy, threatened to cancel SpaceX contracts in order to save billions. Now, Elon on the other side said Trump's bill was a disgusting abomination, and without me, him being Elon Musk, Trump would have lost and accused him of hiding Epstein's file. Now, what's the outcome? Tesla stock tanked again, and Trump's bill died. Now, they're both going at back and forth into a full-blown media war. Now, who is the loser on this? I think the American people are losers. I think the world in general is a loser. But more importantly, the investors who have invested both in Trump's meme coin, if you can call it, and a good investment, and then Tesla shareholders in SpaceX. Now, there are some lessons. Out of every failure, there are lessons, and there's three important lessons that I want to share with you. Number one, egos annihilate trust. Trump demanded loyalty, which makes sense. I am the president. Trump, by nature, is a very loyal person. Many of his staff members have been working him for a very long time. His right-hand man for 47 years is now my coach and my right-hand man for the last 13 years, George Ross. He was on The Celebrity Apprentice. So I have a little bit of knowledge base on this. And Musk wanted power. And when ego wins, partnerships lose. Public feuds destroy billions. Tesla has bled value. The investors, again, are upset. And Trump lost political momentum. The lesson here is bringing the fight to social media, which is such a big temptation, is always a lose, 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 lose. And I've been there before. And at the end of the day, there's one side who will be on no matter what you say, they're going to believe you. The other side will fight you no matter what. And the other 10% really don't care. And they're like, I don't want to get involved into your drama. The next one is misaligned goals, because it breeds betrayal. Trump has chased legacy. Musk has chased cuts. And when there's misalignment between both parties in any business and any relationship, it kills competition, it kills momentum, and more importantly it creates the situation. So let's look at this here from a point of view. If I was Elon Musk and I have given you or the president $288 billion, I'd be completely pissed. And I'd be upset. And, I'd be like, hey, I went out on a limb for you. I even came into this Doge department trying to cut. My business has been hurt because of my loyalty to you. You got people vandalizing my cars, chasing customers away. I should be loyal. But on the other side, there's Trump, who, by the way, again, he's loyal. And I'm sure, and we don't know this, did some things for him that he wouldn't have done, whether it's government contracts, Starlink, all of his businesses, maybe help them overseas with certain government. There is no doubt that Trump did things for them. But in the end, Elon Musk is wrong at the end of this, because you have to know your role in the food chain. You have two alphas going back and forth, and one is the president, which is the most powerful man in the world, and I argue the second most powerful in the world is Elon Musk. But in this situation, Elon has more to lose. Trump can use government money, can cancel contracts, can turn people, can threaten, and there's really nothing that Elon Musk can do. But when Elon Musk went online and accused him of being involved with Epstein, that's when the line was crossed. And unfortunately, it's a line that you really can't walk back. Now, they may be coming back together and kumbaya, but I think that's just for appearance. I was just looking on X a few minutes ago. JD Vance, vice president, came in. We must fight against these evil forces that are happening in LA and these terrorists. And then he said, yes, 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 3 American flags. Sounds to me like he's kissing butt. But in the end of the day, there's a betrayal that has been made. But the funny thing is, I see both sides. But we all lose in this situation. The second story is Bijou's, which versus its investor, a $22 billion implosion. Now, in case you guys don't know what Bijou is, it's once India's edtech darling. It's backed by Process Private Equity and General Atlantic Private Equity, 2 very big private equity. And Bijou now is actually worth less than $1 billion. Now, again, there's 2 sides to this. The investors said that the founder, Bijou, which is quite normal, hid massive losses, blew $1.2 billion, and had reckless acquisition and ignored governance. On the other side, Bijou says the investors turned on him, misunderstood the market demand, and demanded the impossible returns. Well, when I'm giving you billions of dollars, maybe I expect something back if you really look at it. And we just had another Indian company, Builder.ai, which prided itself on doing all AI automation, but now it turns out that it was just Indians, workers behind the scene as well. What this is going to do is going to basically create mistrust for anyone who's going to invest in Indian companies, which is unfortunate because it's one of the fastest growing middle classes in the world. The country is blowing up. It used to be, Indians, billionaires or very high net worth people would send their kids to get educated in America or Canada, and they would stay there. Now they're going still to get educated there, but they're coming back because of the opportunity happens, and there will continue being opportunity. So I'm very bullish. In fact, I think India will be one of the great markets of growth where a lot of investors all over the world are seeking growth. But now there's going to be a lot of distress. And as a result, you have lawsuits, bankruptcy, government probes. The unicorn has now become a wreckage. Now, there's a couple lessons here. Secrecy breeds rebellion. When you hide the bleeding, or there's something wrong, or there's an issue, and you're trying to swipe it under the carpet, unfortunately, you're going to get ambushed. And at the end of the day, it always gets discovered. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but at some point it will. Number 2, if you're ignoring governance, that'll trigger war. If you agree to oversight and you have a board, and then you better honor it, because we even saw this with Uber, that basically Benchmark, which is one of the big investors, threw Travis Kalanick out, the founder of Uber out, who ironically now started his own ghost kitchen company that's now worth $15 billion. So good for him on that. Means that maybe could have been an idea that Uber had done. And Uber's still fighting for profitability despite being such a very valuable company today. Now, in the end, when you have this, if you have misaligned expectations, they're often lethal. Investors want profits. They want to make as money as soon as possible. And when I give you money, then that's the ROI. And I invest a lot of companies and I invest a lot of deals, and I don't want to hear excuses. And it looks like Bijan is giving excuses. And so what happens is when there's misalignment, now it creates implosion. And these are not just stories, but they're actually warnings. That's why I wrote the best-selling book, Business is War. It's my book. And it's where I go deep on not only every failure I've had in business, but there's a chapter here called Chapter 3 is to partner or not to partner. Is your partnership headed for business divorce? Not only did I talk about all my failures and all my businesses, and many of them have been partnering with friends and business partnerships, and everybody gets excited and they get involved. And when things don't go like they're supposed to, there's sometimes a nuclear option and people blow it up. But I've also interviewed many billionaires. Some I do business, some are friends, and 9-figure people and Hollywood A-list celebrities. Everyone shared their failures. And one of the current theme was coming over and over is who you partner with or don't partner with will determine how successful you're going to be. And when you do that, and the fundamental part about success is a wise man learns from his mistakes while a genius learns from other people's mistakes. And here's the truth. If you're in a partnership now or you want to get business, this is probably the chapter you need to read. Although we talk about scaling and marketing and branding and hiring failures, but it might just save your business in the future. Now, will Musk and Trump recover? Will Bijou rise again? Or is this just the beginning of more corporate carnage? My take on this, Yes, more and more problem. We've had record economy, record growth, and now the tide is starting to reveal itself. I'd like to hear your comment. Obviously, we have this on podcasts and on Apple and Spotify. We also have it on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, please, in the comment, let me know your thoughts. What do you think? Hashtag businesses war. This was just episode 1. And my name is JT Fox, and my idea is to bring you the news in 7 minutes, both sides of every truth. If you can subscribe on here, on this channel, on Spotify, on Apple, wherever, you'll realize that the next battle begun, and I will be doing this every single day, giving you both sides of a truth, because so that you can learn. And also, too, it's nice to know that we're not the only ones with problem as well. So thank you so much to be in. We'll see you tomorrow on the next show, where we'll be talking always about AI, M&A, other businesses, things that pop up, but these are things that will definitely make you successful. Thank you for listening, and please share this to others. Spread the word. Let's build a community where we can share the news together. Want to bring me your deals? Need capital? Want to partner on M&As or get free branding or advice? Or are you curious what I'm building in AI? The links are in the description. Let's win.